Ahead on NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
On this week's edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, we learn how an Oklahoma stocker operation is managing bovine respiratory disease. Plus, what lessons producers can learn from the Eastern livestock bankruptcy.
And now, NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman with host Kevin Oxner.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. I'm Kevin Oxner. Thanks for joining us. Topping this week's cattle industry news, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association is working hard to engage the new Congress and tackle many issues where overregulation has the potential to negatively impact the beef industry. NCBA is also calling for a comprehensive regulatory review of all agencies in the Obama administration. Among the top areas of concern are the environment, trade, and transportation. The staff of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association is currently working to provide elected officials factual information on all of these issues in response to the proposed regulations from the Environmental Protection Agency. NCBA President Bill Donald says seeing less regulation on issues across the board is a top priority for 2011.
That's right. For the last couple of years, we've been in pretty much of a defensive posture in Washington, D.C. And even though some of the things that we had a lot of success on some areas, like keeping the antibiotics legislation out and had some good success on some of the legislative things, the administration has chosen to use some of the rules and make regulations on things that they couldn't get legislated. So we've been working very actively with the agencies to engage the new Congress and maybe some oversight areas of Congress to see if we can't get some pressure on there to diminish some of these regulations on dust, on CO2, on water, and those types of things, to give us the ability to run our ranches and raise the beef for a hungry world without so much regulation.
You can get involved and have your voice heard by contacting your federal or state elected official. And doing so is easy. Just visit beefusa.org and click on Government Affairs and get involved now. The Policy Division of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association works to represent the priorities set by the organization's members each and every year. And joining me in the studio is Bob Mccann, a Texas cattleman and chairman of NCBA's Policy Division. Thanks so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
Well, tell us, first of all, just a little bit about yourself.
Well, Kevin, I'm a fifth-generation rancher from Texas, from Victoria, Texas, and we operate a cow-calf operation down there on about 3 different ranches in 3 different counties, and been active with that. And we run a few stockers, and been very active with NCBA for many years. So.
Well, and as chairman, would you give us a summary of what your role as chairman of the Policy Division is, and perhaps more importantly, what are some of your priorities this next year?
Well, we would like to get back to the membership, get out in the country, and find out what our members would like. We recently completed a long-range plan for NCBA, and we will be implementing some of those objectives within our long-range plan, and trying to get some feedback from the membership, from the ranchers, from the grassroots folks out in the country also.
And what do you see ahead for the industry? Give us your perspective on the future.
Well, I think our future's pretty good in the cattle industry. We've got good markets right now. There's a lot of reasons why we have good markets, but I think one of them is our international export market is up now. We've got some work to do there. We've got some countries that we need to get better access to, but that has really helped the profitability of our industry lately. One of the other components that I think is a priority for us is some of the marketing issues that are coming out of this administration, and we really want to watchdog that and make sure that we have the freedom to market our cattle and operate in a good free market environment.
Well, you've got your work cut out for you, Bob. Good luck in your leadership role.
Thank you, Kevin.
Join cattlemen like Bob as a member of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Call us at 1-866-USA-BEEF or visit us at beefusa.org. Now in bankruptcy, the Eastern Livestock Company owes cattle producers millions of dollars. And the National Cattlemen's Beef Association wants to know how something like this can happen and what lessons can be learned to keep it from happening again. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter has more.
Eastern Livestock and the failure of government to see its business shortcomings was a hot topic at the NCBA policy session. In a panel discussion, the preliminary examination showed a complicated path to the company's bankruptcy.
They were buying cattle on their own account. They were buying cattle for others. They were buying cattle, placing them in feed yards. They might buy cattle for future delivery. They had commitments for purchases of cattle. The number of transactions, we counted roughly 12 to 16 different types of transactions. It wasn't a straight buy, sell, write a commission. It was many, many things.
All the conversations I've had with the receiver's office is that $2.5 billion of the $2.6 billion that was supposedly increased in volume this year was paper cattle, paper money that never existed. So I don't know how big or how small a bank it takes with an auditor, FDIC auditor or what, to catch a mistake of this kind.
They had a number of entities working at the same time. So it became easier for them to move money between entities, and that's probably where we started to see some of the failure. We don't know exactly the extent of who owned what when, and that's part of the sort out process we'll see in the bankruptcy proceedings.
The small market operator, they can't stand a $250,000 loss. Our video company, sure, we lost a heck of a lot of money, more than we can stand at one time without selling some of our properties or to account for it. So it's devastating. Even the Superior Livestock, the big loser in this. How are they going to overcome that?
Panel members said there are lessons for GIPSA and other regulators, and producers too can learn from the Eastern Livestock incident.
NCBA is absolutely the right forum for some of these discussions to start, and I'm hopeful that we will have those and bring in banks, bring in lenders, bring in cattle producers of all segment, from the cow-calf producer to the cattle feeder to the processor, and let's talk about where the holes in the system are.
Let's find out why they weren't audited. Let's find out why our bond formulas are they are today. It just doesn't make sense to me. They're the ones that failed us in the biggest part.
The whole audit feature, it's hard to tell exactly what they could have known when. So we'll look at some of that. And I think clearly NCBA has a role in advocating or understanding what is being proposed and how it's discussed.
We've operated on the honor system for years, and I don't see why we can't still do that. If the packers and stockyards had done their job and notified us of slow pay or something was wrong early on, then this would not have happened.
Look at the majority of the problems, understand what transactions became problematic, and then let's look at the least intrusive solution. What we all would say is good government, that's what we need to be doing.
At the NCBA policy session, audience and panel members faulted GIPSA's oversight of Eastern Livestock and the company's low bond as security for cattle purchases. They say these kind of practices can't be allowed when they put cattle producers in financial jeopardy. Reporting from the Cattle Industry Convention in Denver, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
NCBA is seeking more congressional oversight and working with federal agencies to provide no or low-interest loans to those affected. For more information, visit our website at cattlemantocattleman.org. Ahead on NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
BRD has always been a problem on these fresh shipped-in cattle that are highly stressed.
Tips from the experts on how to manage BRD on stocker operations. Plus, a look at one of the most popular activities from this year's Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show, the colorful Colorado wine tasting event. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're watching NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman on RFD TV.
Like you, Beringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Incorporated knows the territory. With over 30 years' experience, you can rest assured that when you work with us, we work for you. We have an extensive line of vaccines and parasite control products for beef cattle and offer professional support in the field. We're continually bringing you innovative animal health solutions to help you build the most profitable beef operation possible. Beringer Ingelheim. When it comes to your herd, we've got your back.
Quality matters to me because our local farmers and ranchers entrust us with the marketing of their livestock each and every week. It's their livelihood and how they provide for their families. Also, friends and families in the community eat at our cafe and watch the auction to be connected with the beef industry. I take great pride in knowing that my livestock auction keeps this community strong and provides our consumers with a great image of the beef they eat. I'm very proud of what we will do here today.
You're not responsible for the weather, just the cattle. And Rangeland works as hard as you do to deliver performance, production, and profitability. Cattle need consistent nutrition. They'll get it year-round with Rangeland products from Land O'Lakes. Deliver what they need free choice in weather-resistant loose minerals and mineral and protein tubs. Get the most out of your forage. See your Land O'Lakes Co-op for products that will stand up to whatever Mother Nature throws at us. Weather's coming in. Rangeland. Consider it done.
Comprehensive, practical, powerful. Now's the time to put the power of DNA to work in your herd with the comprehensive Igenity profile. The inside information from Igenity can help you make more confident replacement heifer and herd sire selection decisions, add marketability to your feeder cattle, make faster genetic progress, and more. The best time to get started is when you're already working cattle, during branding, weaning, or bull soundness exams. Get started today. Visit Igenity.com or call 1-877-IGENITY to put the power of DNA to work in your herd.
Welcome back. Each piece of the beef industry is intricately linked from farm to fork. And that's why it's so important for each segment of the industry to work together. As reporter Matt Fleck found in a recent visit to a stocker operation in Alva, Oklahoma, when it comes to animal health, best practices are key to a successful operation.
Well, we're a family-run business. We've got, 3 generations of our family have been here. Have probably, 6,000 acres of wheat pasture cattle.
Our place, we receive cattle, light cattle from 3 to 500 pounds. We start them here in our growing yard, and then we go on to graze either our wheat or grass in the summer, wheat in the winter and grass in the summer. Well, my younger brother and our foreman, they're kind of the ones that they evaluate the cattle upon delivery, and there's different programs that we use depending on the way the cattle look and the conditions. We use several of Intervet Shearing Plows products.
In north central Oklahoma, the Poseidon brothers run a stocker operation that brings in cattle from across a broad section of the country. And that means the Poseidons have had some experience with bovine respiratory disease or shipping fever.
BRD has always been a problem on these fresh shipped in cattle that are highly stressed. Anything that's coming out of cell, been weaned, they've had so many different stress levels thrown at them that it's a concern. We bring these cattle in that whether they come off a ranch or out of a cell, evaluate them when they come in. A lot of it's just by the appearance of the cattle, how they look. We're constantly in battle with keeping the BRD down.
Bovine respiratory disease, or BRD, is a complicated problem that can be caused by Pasteurella matacida, Histophilus somni, and Mannheimia hemolytica. The problem is further complicated when cattle are under stress and commingled, commonly occurring problems every time animals are shipped. The Poseidon brothers have good systems in place to evaluate the cattle and combat BRD.
A lot of it's, just having good people there that are experienced, that are really good at evaluating cattle and sick ones, and get them in the pens, try to get proper nutrition to them. We try to use a liquid feed product that's kind of initiated. It's got good microbial, gets the rumen real active, get them to eating, try to put a good feed out for them. Try to keep the pens clean. We just try to treat them as we need to, and sometimes it'll be a kind of a load of cattle that you can just pull 10-15% out of, but you know, after they've been here for a week or so, you don't want to let them go too far and go too deep or let your sickness get too far along. So you'd like to try to get pull on those cattle when they need to be pulled, but not too soon, but don't let them go too far where you can't turn them around.
The Poseidons also turned to their local representatives from Intervet Shearing Plow Animal Health for solutions to BRD and are now using a new product called ResFlor Gold.
It's a two-purpose product, and having the uniqueness of an antibiotic and an anti-inflammatory in one product and having that combination available allows us to be able to treat this animal. And we position ResFlor Gold as a first treatment. That's where we position the product. So when we pull that sick calf for the first time, this is a product that we're going to utilize on the animal. And since it has the anti-inflammatory and the antibiotic in the same bottle, it reduces your injections by 1 if you were using an anti-inflammatory in a separate injection. So it allows us to get that product into the animal with fewer injections for using that type of therapy.
Up next, we'll return to Alva, Oklahoma for more tips on how to proactively manage BRD. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your stocker operation is a pack on the pounds enterprise where your goal is to get the animals to the feed yard fast. Every minute counts as you battle the weather, livestock genetics, and health issues. Now there's a powerful new dual action therapy for your doctoring crew that shares your need for fast action. ResFlor Gold. Ask your veterinarian about ResFlor Gold. See improvement in as few as 6 hours with ResFlor Gold. Join the folks at Whitestone Farm in Aldie, Virginia for their annual Angus Bull Sale, Saturday, March 26th. This is the place for the finest in premium Angus genetics, offering 90 yearling Angus bulls and 30 open Angus heifers. And Whitestone bulls are pasture performance tested.
We'd like to think that the quality that we have here is a culmination of 23 years of genetics that we've put together that backs these bulls out of some of the greatest cows in the breed.
Beautiful Whitestone Farm is located just 20 miles west of Dulles Airport in Aldie, Virginia, and it's well worth the trip. This is where you'll find Angus genetics that pay. And with the right disposition, quality carcass traits, and more, Whitestone Angus bulls will work for you.
Our bulls are 100% guaranteed. And you know, here at Whitestone, we really pride ourselves in the customer service that we give our customers.
To find out more and request a sale book, call 703-327-4863 or visit the website whitestonefarm.com. Whitestone bulls don't cost, they pay.
Welcome back. Let's return to reporter Matt Fleck in Oklahoma, who's learning how one stocker operator is managing BRD on his operation.
The Poseidon brothers say ResFlor Gold has worked well, that they've seen immediate improvement in treated cattle, and that there have been few, if any, repulls.
Well, it's been a good product. We've seen it work. You know, it's like a new drug. It's out there. It seems like they always work good. You're hoping that the cattle and the bacteria or whatever don't build up any resistance to it, but we sure haven't seen anything like that right now. So I think the results we've had with it's been really good.
Like I say, the recovery rate seems to be, the response on the drug seems to be almost immediate. Next day, you can sure tell an improvement in the cattle, and just continues to be another added drug that we can use to keep the health of our herd in good performance.
And it's a unique product, and we're very excited about it because some of the unique characteristics of the product, it combines not only an antibiotic but an anti-inflammatory in combination in the product, which makes it unique in the marketplace. And that allows us a lot of options for our customers. It allows them to cut down on one possible injection site that they may have had to be using with their former protocol for once they go to this product. But the basics of the product, we feel that it gives the anti-inflammatory, gets a fast-acting fever-reducing effect to the animals, which allows them to feel better, get back to the bunk, get some nutrition, and while that antibiotic starts taking effect, actually go in and start killing bacteria.
At certain temperatures, Resflor Gold moves through the syringe better if it's warmed first.
In cold weather conditions, the product can be thick, so we proactively try to provide our customers some tools to help them manage through that process and make it a good experience using the product. And we make several different types of bottle warmers, and what we always ask customers to do is try to use this product, but start with the product at room temperature. Let's not try to warm a bottle up from 40 or 50 degrees. Let's start with it at room temperature. Most of our bottle warmers that we have available that we can use with the product will get that product up to maybe 90 degrees, and we know that the product will flow well at that temperature. So we make these available for our customers that are utilizing the product.
The Poseidon brothers say Resflor Gold works well on their operation, and it's easy to manage the syringeability of the product. In fact, the Poseidons have found Resflor Gold is the right product to treat BRD in cattle that make it onto their operation.
Well, Resflor Gold is a good combination drug. You know, it's a good antibiotic drug with an anti-inflammatory. You look at the cattle and you think about what it has in it and the way it works, and you can't help but like it. It seems like it helps to knock the fever better. The antibiotics there to take care of the bacteria. It just really, with the combination of the two together, I think you just got a little bit of advantage there that helps to, really just get the cattle back to bunk sooner. It looks like to me, with what we've used on it, it's worked. It's worked well. We've run a lot of cattle through with it. Hadn't had very many repulls, and got along well with it.
We think it is worth the investment. Like I said, the recovery rate on the cattle seemed to be excellent. There's not a lot of repulls. It's on the cutting edge of the antibiotics that we've been using, and we seem to be having good luck with it.
In Alva, Oklahoma, I'm Matt Fleck for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Now, for more information on Resflor Gold and the folks at Intervet Shearing Plow Animal Health, visit cattlemantocattleman.org. We'll be right back.
Preventing cattle pink eye is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Vaccinate your animals with Piligard Pink Eye TriView to provide pink eye fighting antibodies in the tears that bathe the eye. Broad spectrum protection that cross-reacts with 103 different strains of pink eye causing bacteria. 2. Stop the flies that spread pink eye bacteria throughout the herd. Apply double barrel VP ear tags and Ultra Boss Poron for up to 5 months of face fly and horn fly control. 3. Manage the environment to reduce damage to the animal's eye from seed heads, pollen, and UV light, irritants that increase the risk of pink eye infection. With the right tools, preventing pink eye is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
You like the John Deere 568 round baler for everything it has. Now, you'll like it even more for what it doesn't. Get rid of the twine tie system and run a 568 with nothing but net. That's right, nothing but easy loading, fast wrapping, bale protecting, cover edge net wrap. Put one to work in your field. See your John Deere dealer today.
Welcome back. Colorado rancher W.D. Farr dedicated his life to improving agriculture, feeding livestock, and managing our precious water resources. Each year, the National Cattlemen's Foundation recognizes Farr's contribution to our industry with a scholarship that's given to graduate students dedicated to continuing his legacy. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Sharon Alseth heads to Fort Collins, Colorado to catch up with one of the first winners of this prestigious award.
My passion developed through meat product evaluation. Even as a young child, I enjoyed barbecuing and grilling and eating meat, and so my passion really grew from that. And now what I do is I have the opportunity to make sure that those products do eat very well, they do taste good, and ultimately that they're safe for our consumers.
Colorado State University's Dr. Dale Warner says he's very grateful to the late W.D. Farr, a cattleman he never met.
I didn't know a whole lot about W.D. Farr before moving to Colorado, but here in agriculture and here at CSU, he's truly a legend, not only in beef cattle production or meat production, but also in water management and ag resource management.
Dale is a 2007 recipient of the W.D. Farr Scholarship. It's a $12,000 stipend given to grad students in the animal science, environmental science, or agricultural field. Dale carries on FAR's cattle industry efforts through research in red meat quality, shelf life stability, and beef safety.
Agriculture is something that we all love in this field, and we want to make sure that that's sustainable and profitable in every way. And a big part of that is by making sure that the end product is good and ultimately safe.
Dale teaches several classes in animal science and meat science. He focuses on the issues that impact producers and consumers.
I get to share my learning experiences with students and help them by teaching them and helping them to make a difference in our industry, and ultimately, pass that back to producers and allow them to be profitable.
Dale works with his CSU students to build a successful meat science program. Their commitment to the beef industry and to FAR's legacy is to improve food safety and increase consumer trust.
Agriculture is something that is obviously instrumental and crucial to our livelihood, and the more students that we can put out in that field and producing high quality, safe products to eat, the happier I'll be in 10 to 20 years, so it'd be great.
Dale says the FAR Fellowship brings even greater rewards through the people he meets outside the university.
In addition to the monetary award was the opportunity to go to National Cattlemen's Beef Association convention or annual convention, and to really get to know a lot of people, not only at NCBA but also in National Cattlemen's Foundation, and was able to make tremendous contacts, and doing that, contacts that I still deal with today in my job in academia. And so those experiences have proven to be just as, if not more valuable than the actual fellowship itself. So it was really a great experience all the way around.
Reporting from Colorado State University, I'm Sharon Alseth for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Here in the studio to talk more about the WD Farr Scholarship Program is Dick Farr, a member of the Scholarship Committee and one of WD Farr's sons. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about the WD Farr Scholarship and specifically your involvement.
7 or 8 years ago, the National Cattlemen's Foundation wanted to create a scholarship to honor Dad and to raise some money that would benefit some students and some industry benefit on down the road from there. Mm-hmm. So they started the WD Farr Scholarship at that time while he was still alive, and it was a great thing for him to enjoy. Mm.
And your involvement?
My involvement, I'm on the scholarship committee, so I get to interview the candidates for the scholarship and help award the final students their scholarship.
That's outstanding. And speaking of those candidates, tell us a little bit about who the scholarship is designed for.
The scholarship is designed for graduate students at any level, at any accredited college in the United States, and any student working on a master's or a doctorate degree or a law degree can use help today. It doesn't make any difference what their level of need is. Yeah. College expenses, everybody needs help. So that's who it's designed for, and we're specifically after those students that show a lot of leadership. And that's who we're after, is an outstanding student that has a lot of leadership characteristics and how they will apply their education to benefit the beef cattle industry in the future.
I'm certain you get a chance to learn about and meet a lot of very, very capable young people. But for folks watching the show who either want to apply for the scholarship or maybe want to donate to the scholarship fund itself, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them to give a call to the NCBA office here in Denver or the foundation office. Talk to Barb Wilkinson at NCBA. That would be the place to go to get that done.
That's outstanding. Thank you so much for all your family continues to do for the beef industry.
Thank you.
If you or someone you know is interested in applying for the WD Farr Scholarship, you can find all the information you need on our website at cattlemantocattleman.org. This year's application deadline is Friday, April 29th. We'll be right back.
These days, more cattlemen choose Draxxin to fight BRD than any other brand. Here's why.
It works. We have fewer repulls, and the ones that we do repull respond, and we have fewer chronics in the end.
To retreat anything it's a lot more expensive than using Draxxin as a first time.
And the evidence backs up what most cattlemen already know. Draxxin cuts retreats by 50%. So talk to your veterinarian and check the online calculator at Draxxin.com. You'll see why Draxxin should be your first choice to fight BRD.
Basically what it's allowed us to do with our operation is run more cattle through in a given period of time. It's just really been a good product to use.
Do not use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older. Do not use in calves to be processed for veal. Draxxin has a pre-slaughter withdrawal time of 18 days. Please visit Draxxin.com or call 1-888-DRAXXIN for more information.
Hi, I'm Kevin Ochsner, host of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman and Colorado Rancher. Join me each week as the National Cattlemen's Beef Association brings you the latest updates in industry information and market news. Plus, each week we provide important educational information and features on cattlemen from across the country just like you. And we can't forget our favorite cowboy poet, Baxter Black. Join me for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, debuting Tuesday nights at 8:30 Eastern, right here on RFD TV. Welcome back. There were many serious issues up for discussion at the recent Cattle Industry Annual Convention, but many attendees also found time to have some fun and enjoy a little taste of Colorado. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter has more on the exciting event sponsored by Novus International.
The Novus wine reception at the NCBA trade show was a great chance to wander the aisles and visit with friends from all across the country.
We like to have a good time, socialize a little bit. Everybody works hard all day, but the primary thing is provide an environment for people to stop by, talk a little bit about Novus, network a little bit, visit with what's going on in the industry, and it's always that's a little bit more laid back.
Well, this is a great way for people to mingle, and also the glasses are way cool. It's a souvenir that people are taking home to remind them of this event, and it's an opportunity for people to try some local stuff here from Colorado. It's kind of neat to get flavors from different parts of the country, and of course, as this event circulates through the United States, we get a chance to really take in some different kinds of culture.
People like local, whether it's their wines, whether it's their produce and their products. That certainly conjures up a lot of nice interest being in the local sector. So it's kind of neat that we're able to promote some of the local wines in the Colorado area as part of what we're doing tonight.
It'd be nice to try a local product, and it also gets people gathered up, visit and have a good time.
Whatever they poured, I'm taking.
No doubt the wine reception, now in its second year, was a hit with the crowd, and along the way this year you would meet Wally, one of the NCBA trade show's many eye-catching attractions.
Wally created a lot of interest last year, gave us an opportunity to talk about the engine and how you feed the engine and the concepts around that. But the reception's been good. I think as people have gotten to learn a little bit about Novus and what our platform is, not only in the beef but multi-species, and quite honestly the impact and the role that we have on sustainability and some of the the key things within our company culture that we're wanting to convey. It was a great opportunity for us to get to be known a little bit more than what we are. We are somewhat new into the beef sector, but with our methionine and our mineral products and our antioxidants and some of the other feed additives that we have, it certainly gives us an opportunity to talk about where we fit. And quite honestly, some of our focus really is not only on improving the performance of the animals, but also having an impact on finished product quality, on meat quality, meat texture. So it's kind of a nice way to mix the wines with the taste of the proteins.
Red wine and beef's a good combination.
They make an excellent combination. Get a nice good steak and a good bottle of wine, good company, good friends, makes for a great evening.
Good beef, good wine, and a good time. Reporting from the NCBA trade show in Denver, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Over 5,500 people attended this year's Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA trade show. And we'd love to see you there next year in Nashville, Tennessee, February 1st through the 4th. For details, visit beefusa.org. Americans eat about 15 million pounds of veal every year. And through the Beef Checkoff program, veal producers are working to promote veal consumption, identify new cuts, and create exciting meals for consumers. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Sharon Alseth has a look at what's new in veal promotion.
Members of the Checkoff-funded Veal Committee are dedicated to boosting veal consumption. They're aiming for those who already eat lots of protein.
Those are the heavy consumers of veal, and that is our primary target. That if we can get those to consume more veal on a monthly, weekly basis, it would help demand all over. Currently, right now, veal is about a quarter pound per person per capita. We want to increase that back and get it up to a half, to a full pound or more. The veal long-range plan was developed as a 3 to 5 year plan, and it's integrate everything that we do, from veal quality assurance to veal issues management, along with retailers and food service operators, to bring back and help bring profitability back to the veal industry.
The plan provides a blueprint for committee actions.
We have many different programs. One of that we have is a Veal Made Easy program, which is part of our promotions throughout the year. Right now, currently, from the 17th of January through the end of March, there is a veal health and diet conscious program going on with many different retailers across the country. And then from there, we do a summer grilling program, and then of course wind up with Columbus Day, the Veal Day. Some of the folks jumping on the bandwagon with that is with Buca de Beppo, Maggiano's, Macaroni Grill, the Palm restaurant. These folks have found veal to be exciting and to put on the menu to help add value to their clientele and bring people in.
Also part of the program is increasing knowledge among dairy producers about their role in the production of veal. For Cattleman to Cattleman, I'm Sharon Alseth reporting.
Did you know that an increased demand for veal actually helps increase beef prices? For every pound of veal sold, more than 2.5 pounds of beef are effectively taken off the market. You can learn more by going to cattleman.org. Up next, NCBA chef Shanoa French shows us how to cook up a great corned beef meal. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Quality beef starts with quality forage. Fertilization of pastures now can help with improved quality and tonnage of late-season forages. But often applied nitrogen fertilizer can be vulnerable to volatilization, making it inefficient in robbing your herd of important nutrients. Nutrisphere N, nitrogen fertilizer manager, is proven to enhance forage tonnage and quality by protecting valuable nitrogen inputs from loss. Improve your forage management plan today at NutrisphereN.com.
Quality matters to me because I put the finishing touches on the cattle I feed. I search for the highest quality forages and provide a comfortable environment that allow the animals to thrive and grow. I'm the last person that has an impact on the quality and consistency of the product that goes to the consumer. And that matters to me and the crew that I manage. I'm proud of what we'll do here today.
It's a dish you don't often see outside the month of March, but corned beef is a great everyday recipe. And joining me in the studio is Chef Shanoa French from the Checkoff-funded Beef Culinary Innovation Center at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Thanks again for coming and sharing this recipe. I have to tell you, Auctioner is not exactly an Irish name, but I am interested when you put corned beef and cabbage together. So tell us what you have.
Well, today the recipe is slow-cooked corned beef with a red currant mustard sauce. So this recipe is ideal for those that want to start it in the morning, go away to work, and then come back. I know St. Patrick's Day this year is on a weekend, so that's not as necessarily a problem. Sure. But if you want to do this on the stove, you can. It takes a little bit less time. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here with crock pot.
Yep.
And go ahead and load all our ingredients into this and set the timer and walk away. We're going to start with 2 medium-sized onions. You don't need to cut them real small, just quarter of them. They're giving us flavor, so that's kind of their purpose.
Okay.
And then 3 stalks of celery.
Very good.
So we're going to dump this in here.
In the bottom. That's
In the bottom.
easy
That
enough.
kind of gives you the base so nothing burns down there as well.
Okay.
The next thing, we're going to take about 2.5 pound brisket, depending on how much you need for your family. One trick is make sure that it fits in your crock pot. The bigger you get, the bigger crock pot you're going to need.
Correct.
So this will come corned already. It's brisket that's corned. It'll come in a package.
Yep.
Usually has a pickling seasoning with it.
The package
Yeah,
with it?
if it doesn't have one, you'll need to just get some in the grocery aisle.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw this inside.
Yeah. Just right on top.
Yep, just right on top. I'm going to stick it in there.
Okay. Then your
Dump
seasoning?
your seasoning on top.
Very good.
And then the other trick to this is 1 can of beer.
Oh,
so
okay.
go ahead and pick your favorite, whatever you have in the refrigerator.
Sure.
Just a 12-ounce can or bottle.
Very
Goes
good.
right on top.
Yep.
And you do need a little bit of liquid. This
All
will
right.
help with the cooking process. This is a non-tender muscle
Yeah.
right at the beginning, so it needs that slow, moist heat cooking
Sure.
to kind of break down.
Do you put the fat side up or down, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Really
I
good.
always put it down. If you're going to be cooking it in a pan
Yeah.
with more of an intense heat source, make sure you put it down because it'll kind of protect it a little bit.
Gotcha.
If you're grilling, you would always put fat up so it runs down.
Sure.
But in a crock pot, it doesn't matter. Lid on.
Throw it in the crock pot.
On high for 6 to 7 hours, on low for 9 to 10. So depending on how quickly you need it,
Sure.
what you process. This goes in the morning, you walk away.
Walk away from
When you
it.
get home at night and you're ready to eat, you'll need another 25 minutes before you're ready to eat. We're going to do vegetables
Yep.
and the sauce. So we're going to start here. These actually get done in the microwave. It's the easiest way, and you can combine them all together.
Yep.
You're going to take about 1.5 pounds cabbage.
Yep.
More if you like it, a little less if you don't. And green cabbage, don't use the red.
Right.
Red new potatoes.
Yep.
And then just some carrots.
Okay.
Real easy.
Easy enough.
One trick I'm going to show you with the cabbage is this is a real kind of a bitter, strong piece in there.
Yep.
You're not going to want to eat that. But if you cut it out, you take the core out before you cook them, you're not going to be able to get them out of the pot. The pot is easy.
Okay.
So what I recommend is that you cut them and leave this in.
And it helps
It helps hold them
hold
together.
the leaves together.
And then once they're all cooked, you can pull them out and then just slice this out real quick.
That is an interesting
So make sure that you cut your cabbage down enough so that it cooks consistently. In this pot, as you see, obviously your potatoes
Right.
and your carrots are much smaller. So even size pieces to some degree to make sure everything cooks evenly.
Gotcha.
You just take a nice good
Yep.
slice off.
Piece of that
Yeah.
is still left in there. That's
Yeah,
very
and
good.
see this piece right here at the bottom
Sure.
kind of holds all your leaves together.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Now, once you've microwaved them, you
Yep.
add about 1/2 cup of water to this, put saran wrap over the top, stick it in the microwave. Goes for 12 to 15 minutes, depending on the power of your microwave, and how soft you like your vegetables. Obviously, the longer, the softer they'll get. If you
Very
don't like
good.
them real mushy, don't let them go as long.
Yep.
Once they're all done, you're going to take your cabbage out and go ahead and slice off this core.
So you don't
then
have to
you're
eat that.
done. You just slice this little guy off and don't eat him. He'll be kind of a bitter, hard texture. Once your vegetables are all done, you're going to go ahead and add a little bit of butter to them. So just kind of pour that in, toss them all around, and a little bit of black pepper.
Perfect.
Some seasoning.
That's easy enough.
That's
And so
easy.
what do we have here? Jelly?
So this is our red currant jelly.
Really?
You can find red currant jelly. It kind of looks like strawberry or anything else, but it'll have a different flavor.
Interesting.
In the jelly aisle, and you take a whole jar of it. And again, this is something that's done in the microwave, and this is done right at the end.
Okay.
You're getting ready to sit down. It's a
Yep.
quick process. You microwave it, and this has kind of been sitting just a minute, but microwave it so that it gets soft and loose. Not quite pancake syrup consistency,
Yeah, but
kind of
close.
like that, yeah.
Okay.
Because what happens is you'll take your jelly that's warm and you'll mix in 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard.
Really?
So go ahead and that gives that little bit of corned beef and cabbage mustard
Wow.
flavor. So mix that in. If you want to use an old style with the seeds in your mustard, you're more than
You
welcome
can do
to.
that as well.
Yeah, but go ahead and you can mix them together. You can use a whisk if you have a little bit bigger bowl, whatever
Sure.
is easiest for
Easy
you.
for you? Wow.
But the warmer your jelly is, the
The
smoother this consistency will get.
That makes
and
sense.
it kind of gives it a little bit of reddish brown color.
Interesting.
Like I said, just keep mixing it until you have your consistency. If you let it set a little bit and you need to stick it back in the microwave,
You can
go
do
ahead
that.
and give it like 30 seconds. whisk it. Make sure as you take these dishes out of the microwave, they will be very hot.
Yeah.
So just be careful about that. We don't think about necessarily in the microwave. And then go ahead and slice up your corned beef.
That's a great looking dish.
Yeah, put your carrots and your vegetables. We pulled a little bit of the celery and onions out.
Yep.
They do break down quite a bit. Again, they're primarily for flavor, but if you want to add them to your dish, go right ahead. And then whatever you don't eat at dinner can be hash for the next morning.
That's fantastic. You got it all, that and Lucky Charms.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming again. This is a great, exciting recipe. For this and other great beef recipes, visit our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.
Consumers count on America's cattlemen to deliver quality beef every time. So in your daily work to raise cattle, keep quality top of mind in everything you do, in the care, feeding, and handling of your animals. You can be a part of a national program that provides sound, proven guidelines for beef cattle production that will establish you as a leader and responsible stockman. Beef Quality Assurance, or BQA, is a national program funded by the Beef Checkoff that can help you strengthen your operation, improve cattle care, drive more value to the bottom line, and increase consumer confidence in the quality of America's beef. Producers across the nation have embraced the BQA program because of their commitment to be the world's best producers of beef, and because assuring beef quality is our job, not someone else's. Find out how you can become BQA certified. Visit the website bqa.org.
All I want for Christmas is whatever you can leave, but I'd settle for a new wife who would stay through New Year's Eve.
That's marvelous. Trust. Out here, it's that rare combination of reliability, integrity, and the peace of mind that comes with having both. After 20 years of making hitches, the B&W Turnover Ball has become the most trusted gooseneck hitch in the country. Why is that important? Because trust is not only hard to earn, it's hard to find. The Turnover Ball Gooseneck Hitch by B&W. Trusted.
We were working a bunch of replacement heifers a while back up on the Little Willer. Louie runs the cows up there. I was working the squeeze and Louie was working the head. Louie'd reach around and grab the heifer when she come in and snap on the nose tongs and pull her up so I could draw a little blood and check her ears for the tattoos. And then when he was done, he'd just throw them tongs back on the ground and let her out. Finally, it dawned on him that it was sure tiresome work picking them tongs up every time, so he tied the shank of the nose tongs to his belt. Tied them on good. And then all he had to do when one come in was just grab that shank, flip her up, catch the tongs, and snap them on the cow. Dally up, pull her tight, and then when he was done, he'd just drop them, and he didn't have to bend over and pick them up every time. Oh, he was proud. We got to bragging on him. He got to flipping it behind his back and through his legs and around his head. Kind of broke up the monotony of the day. Then one of these heifers come a-roaring in. She stuck both her front feet through that head catch along with her head. I had her hip locked with a squeeze. Now, Louie's a big fella, and he grabbed her around the neck like a bulldogger. He reached down with his left hand and snapped them tongs on her snout, and I'll be danged if she didn't escape. Off we went. I mean, I got her by the tail with both hands. She was going flat out. I was sailing behind her like a water skier. Louie was running neck and neck with her around that crowd, trying to keep the slack out of that line to keep them getting drugged to death, and he wasn't having any luck. She hit the trash barrel and sent junk flying everywhere. Louie was running right beside her, taking great big steps. His eyes were about that big around, and he was screaming, "Don't let her go, boys! Don't let her go!" The dust is boiling up, and the last thing I see before I go down is Louie out on the end of that tong rope, swinging like a rock in David's slingshot. When the dust settled, he was laying there up against a creosote post. I thought I saw tar coming through the front of his shirt. This is Baxter Black from out there.
Thanks once again, Baxter. We'll be right back.
Tough trailers built for tough country. Big Ben Trailers manufactures a different kind of trailer, one that's built to put up with the rough conditions found on the ranch. Rugged build using heavy-gauge powder-coated steel and a 2x4 rectangle tube frame. There's a 1-inch gap between the side and floor, so there's no place for water or manure to accumulate and rust. Big Ben trailers are loaded with standard features: a lever-action hitch, a 3-foot escape gate, and a middle sorting gate, rhino lining along the front edges, and a receiver hitch to tow another trailer, chute, or other equipment. Tough and practical. That's Big Ben Trailers, designed and built by a working cattleman. You can rely on and trust Big Ben Trailers for their durability and convenient features. Reasonably priced for any rancher to afford. For a list of dealers and other design features, visit BigBenTrailers.com. Big Ben Trailers, built cattleman tough.
Next week, we'll learn why having a good spring vaccination program in place can mean a more profitable herd. Plus, we visit one of the largest limousine breeders in North America, and how a beef quiz bowl is preparing the next generation of cattle industry leaders. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. We'll see you right back here next week on RFD TV.